Hello, chat. We are back with the Square Peg podcast. I am your host, Roman, or RG Energy, however you know me. It is your favorite guy. Nah, psych. So I'm taking a couple months off with the Roller Own cast, and I'm thinking to myself, why not just bring out the suit jacket, try to do a show for you guys? I missed it. Um, I I have had a lot to say recently, and I figured there's no better time than the present to just kind of start doing all of this. Um, so firstly, I just want to say I apologize for being as gone or for being gone for as long as I was. My mental health has not been in the best state, but you know what? I figured to myself, why not dust off the suit jacket and just come back and just do my thing and give you guys what you deserve because you've all stayed. As a matter of fact, I've gained subs. And I've been trying to keep the channel alive by posting clips from the Brother Rome cast when things get testy and we have political debates. But it's not the same as a show, and I have a great show prep for you guys today. So, we're back on the Square Peg Pod, and I want to talk firstly about Trump's housing plan. Now, for those of you that live under a rock, the president proposed a 50-year mortgage plan. Now, in college, you learn about economics when you try to be a political science major. This is a terrible idea for a number of reasons. And before y'all say, Roman, you liked FDR. Yeah, I did. His was not a 50-year mortgage plan. It was a 30-year mortgage plan. And also, you don't propose a mortgage plan when the country and the people in it cannot afford shit, okay? So here is what Yahoo Finance has to say, okay? All right. Days after Donald Trump's party lost several key election contests that centered on cost of living concerns, which by the way, I don't care if you're I don't care if you're a Republican, I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care if you're a centrist, I don't care what you are. You have to look objectively at this. At this time last year, the price of everything was not significantly lower, but it was lower. You cannot deny that. The price of food was lower. The price of gas was lower. The price of electricity was lower. The price of housing was lower. Biden did trickle down economics. Trump is doing even more trickle down economics. What have I been telling you guys since I've been on this platform? Trickle down economics does not work. It doesn't work. Herbert Hoover tried it, didn't work. Nixon tried it, didn't work. Ronald Reagan tried it, recession. George Bush tried it, recession. W. Bush tried it, recession. Trump's doing it, recession. Biden did it, almost had a recession. Almost. Every time that we've done trickle down economics besides Biden's, it ends in a recession. That's just point blank period. That is reality. That is what happens. So here's the deal. When when you have a country that is struggling to afford groceries and rent and being able to just pay bills in general, what makes you think that raising the cost of housing by $1 million is going to make everything better? No, 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 no. Listen. I know this might be everyone jokes that I'm a commie. I'm not, but this is just basic common sense, okay? How many homeless people do we have in this country? 700,000, 800,000. Rough estimate. I know my friend Muffler is going to put in the comments what the number actually is. Here's my proposal then. For that, instead of this 50-year mortgage plan, which okay, here here's the thing. How can you no one can buy a house? Why would you have a 50-year mortgage? It's like if I say, "Okay, listen, you can have like a 30-year car loan on a Ferrari, but you're not going to be able to afford it." What is the point of that? If if you cannot afford the Ferrari, the 30-year car loan's not going to help you. If you can't afford a house, what is the point of a 50-year mortgage plan? This is stupid. This is dumb, okay? Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, whatever, this is dumb, okay? And what the point that I was getting to was that how about instead of doing a 50-year mortgage plan, just you know what you do? You take the money that you gave to Argentina, $40 billion to Argentina, which by the way, I was told, oh well, when Trump gets back into office, he's not going to give any money to any foreign countries that don't need it. He did, but that's all right. Anyway, point is, here's the here's the point. How about you take that $40 billion, you spend it on building little houses for homeless people. What you do, at least in my eyes, here's what you do right now. Okay? You like anyone who's ever lived in a townhouse, right? Just have little mini houses next to each other. Townhouses, right? But just the basics. A bathroom, a living room, a closet, clothes already in there, food in the fridge, things like that. Government paid for, okay? Gives anyone who's homeless a chance to get back on their feet if they so choose. You get it for 3 months, government paid for, then you gotta do the rest of it. It wouldn't be like mortgage owned, it would be rented. But everyone would have a home. Everyone would have the chance to have a home. Affordable housing. Truly affordable housing. For anybody who is low income or homeless, who cannot afford a house. Not this stupid 50-year mortgage plan. Let me continue here. All it means is you pay less per month, Trump said in an interview that aired on Monday. Yet the president's idea is struggling to gain traction in the housing industry as experts largely dismiss it as a short-sighted model that provides little cost relief and ends up hurting homeowners over the long term. You see, that's the problem with just truthfully re- Republican politicians. Their taxes over the long haul hurt you. We are dealing right now still with the George Bush tax cuts, but we're also dealing with the Donald Trump tax cuts, where 83% of the benefits went to the top 0.1%. And we had to foot that bill. What you learn in college in economics is if you do a tax bill, you know, if it's not 50-50 or like 60-40 in the benefit of the people, who pays for that tax overall? We do. We are paying for their tax break. That's what it is. The price of everything that we have gets raised because they got a tax break. That's who the tax cut was for. Trump's tax cut. And you know what he did this year? He made it permanent. So our prices of everything and our taxes will forever be raised. So I don't want to hear jack shit about no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Oh no. No, 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 no. That's going to stay in place. As a matter of fact, it's going to get raised even higher. Everything that you were promised is not going to happen. I am sorry to tell you. I am so sorry to burst your bubble about this. So sorry. But anyway, let us continue here. Paying for a home over 5 decades would increase the amount of interest homeowners would pay while slowing the amount of equity they build in their homes. Experts also caution that the plan could stoke demand that further raises home prices in a market constrained by a lack of supply. Yeah, you see, look, you know when the last time this happened was? Does anybody here remember the 2008 market crash? Correct me if I'm wrong, Muffler, since I know that you're still watching. Wasn't the deal that people were sold homes that they could not afford, and then when they couldn't pay for it, the housing market bubbled, and then boom, recession. That's what happened, correct? So aren't we doing the same thing here, except on an even grander scale? This is dumb. This is stupid. No one's gonna be able to afford this, especially because the tariffs are in place. And where do we get 70% of our lumber from? Canada. We have what, a 70% tax or a tariff on Canada? Housing prices are about to go even higher, okay? In my lifetime, I'm never going to be able to own a house unless I get really rich. Subscribe, by the way. But no, seriously. The 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 problem here is that housing is going up exponentially, and people's wages are not going up any higher, okay? No one can afford anything, but yet you want to do basically a much more um uh trumped up policy to what George Bush was doing in his second term. You saw what happened last time. Do people not pay attention? No. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They care about their bottom line. That's all that they care about. They care about getting every last cent out of every single one of us. The common man, the hard ass working people, the people that are the reason that they're rich in the first place. They want every dollar. They want every cent. They don't care about us because this will not affect them. This will only affect us. The bottom 99%, this will affect. The top 1% are going to be living comfortably, just like they always are. So, I don't, there's not much more here to really read. I mean, okay, we can read this. A 50-year mortgage to double interest paid over tenor, UBS says. Consider a $420,000 mortgage with a 20% down and a 6.3% interest rate. The monthly payment would be $236 lower for a 50-year loan than a 30-year loan, says Lawrence Yoon, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors. Well, okay. To be fair, he's gonna say that because that gives him more money, but the total cost of the home would rise to roughly 1.1 million with nearly 360,000 more in interest paid over the life of the loan, Yoon said. It would also take about almost 40 years to pay off half the balance, meaning most borrowers would not begin building meaningful equity until the final decade. So essentially, we're back to square one with this. You, you know what, man? Fair fair play. Fair play. We passed legislation and we're back to square one. That's the story of America. That's the story of the rot of capitalism in this country. We passed legislation, and then 3 decades later, we're back to where we were. Never ever change. This country never changes. This country never changes. I'm done reading this article. I got plenty more where that came from. I'll see y'all on the next one.